Mr. Whisper. Got a Boulevard Pale Ale. Yeah, you don't need to know. It's funny. Sometimes it's just in my head. Hey, so let me read you just a little bit from their website. Boulevard Pale Ale is a smooth, fruity, well-balanced beer with year-round appeal. A variety of caramel malts impart a rich flavor and amber color, while liberal use of whole hops adds zest and aroma. Pale Ale is the first beer we brewed and continues to be a perennial favorite. Yeah, I'd have to say it's probably their flagship, that along with their Boulevard Wheat. Um, 5.4%, 30 IBUs, and for once, the bottle agrees with the website. Bottle says 5,430, so there you go. They tell you look for aroma, floral, citrusy hops, slight fruitiness, malt, mellow, toffee-like hops, prominent bitterness and flavor, balance, hops, body light to light medium. Ingredients are malt, pale malt, Munich, Cara 50, and Cara 120. The hops are Zeus, Magnum, Styrian, Golden, and Cascade. So that there should give you an idea what flavors you're going to be looking for. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on. Floral, citrusy on aroma. Yeah, what the hell? I'll agree with that. It says slight fruitiness. I don't know. Yeah, you get a little bit. I'm actually getting. This has a good date on it, so I know it's fresh. I just picked it up. Um, but I am getting more malt on the aroma than they might lead you to believe. I'm getting malt on the aromas. But yeah, you get some floral and citrus. Yeah, why the hell not? This has a nice. I'm going to call deep golden color using my Lost 40 glass. I like the style of glass. It's not it actually shaped slightly different. It's very similar to a neck pint, but it's got a little bit of a flare there that the Nordic typically does not have. And typically there are imperial pints which holds 19.2 ounces. This does not do that. Actually, it's much smaller. But again, it's got that familiar bubble you see there. I like a glass like this actually for pale ales, although seems like most beer geeks want to drop everything into a tulip these days. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I have several, but I'm going a long way around the barn to tell you I love this style of glass for pale ales, especially pale ales that lean more towards traditional than what APAs have become to be. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm getting a lot of malt on the nose. I am getting a floral notes. I am getting some citrus, but I'm getting a whole lot of malt as well. Oh gosh, I have Pandora on, but I muted it for the sake of the video. But they're playing combinations, so I'm actually going to stop the video, listen to the rest of my song, so I don't get flagged by YouTube because I love this song. Combination from the Rocks album is absolutely brilliant. And Hattie Two Buckers, I'm back. It went from Aerosmith combination to Van Halen Unchained. Dang, I wish I could. I do. I don't know how to do it without. having the YouTube police get all over me. But I would love to have just the music played in the background and just do a running commentary about all the songs that are playing and what they mean to me. Combination, that's a great tune. Now, Aerosmith Rocks is one of the greatest albums of all time, in my particular opinion. The reason being is it was very different from what was going on at the time, especially for Aerosmith. They had their first album, Aerosmith, second album, Get Your Wings, but they didn't really hit it huge until Toys in the Attic. Toys in the Attic, I mean to say. Toys in the Attic with Walk This Way, which became an AM radio hit for some odd reason. But the songs on that album were more melodic. They went a whole different way for rocks, right? There wasn't really any AM radio friendly tunes. It was FM stuff, and it was arena rock stuff, right? These aren't songs that are going to sell singles for the most part, but the songs on that album were songs that you go to hear the band play live. Combination, for instance, was a great tune. It wasn't a tune that even got airplay back in the day, but it's a tune that you know rockers love to hear. It was one of those songs. It's raw. It's energetic. You got that great instrumental at the end. You had the guitars of Brad Whitford and Joe Perry, which were just amazing together. They had this thing that was just incredibly good. But I mean, of course, Back in the Saddle was probably the tune that got the most airplay. At the time the album came out, Sick as a Dog got some airplay. It does not anymore because today's radio just fucking sucks. Again, sorry, folks at Boulevard, you're going to have to denounce my video again. Yeah, I don't just talk about beer, folks. These are conversations we're having, man. That's why I don't call what I do a review. I'm just kind of shooting shit. But Licking the Promise, Rats in the Cellar, that album was not necessarily radio friendly, but these were just tunes that just rocked. They rocked you to the core. They were raw. I mean, they were energetic. There was just something special about that album, especially coming off of Toys in the Attic, that really made the band a commercial success. I think that album is very important. It is one of the great, maybe not it sold well, but it isn't one of the biggest sellers of all time. But as far as musical importance to the hard rock genre at the time, in my opinion, it is one of the most important albums of that decade. I am Pony Beer Whisperer, giving you my spin on music. Unchained is playing right now, and I paused it so I could finish this video. I personally love the song. It is one of my favorite from that particular album. I love it, it means something special to me because it was one of my son Seamus' favorite songs. He loved the tune Unchained. And again, Van Halen, even before they lost David Lee Roth, as they got going, they became more commercial. But that album was very raw. Uh, Unchained is a very raw tune. Of course, 1984 was extremely commercially successful, but the songs were much more polished. Unchained, that song just rocks your balls off, man. Sorry, folks at Boulevard. Back to the beer. Yeah, it's a solid pale. It isn't what pales are these days. It isn't that crazy, no malt at all. Fruity as all hell APA that everybody's doing these days. Again, I don't say that hating on those beers because I don't necessarily hate them. There's several that I really enjoy. Many feel very one dimensional to me. So when I get a classic pale like this, there is some fruitiness, there is some citrus going on, but there is some malt here. And there's enough malt that you could taste and hang on to. It is a classic pale. It isn't what folks are doing these days, but it certainly is a damn fine beer. So there you go. Hold on, I got a burp. Excuse me. Hate it when that happens. As I'm not watching my screen as Jailbreak from Thin Lizzy's coming on. Shay was also a Thin Lizzy fan. Earlier, they played Whiskey in a Jar, which is one of our favorite songs by several artists, but he really loved the Thin Lizzy version of. I like Thin Lizzy. I mean, they tend to get overlooked in the grand scheme of things when you talk about influential bands, but I do think they influenced more bands than you hear about. There was something special about their sound, especially what Phil Lynott did on the bass and vocals. The guy was freaking impressive, and of course Gary Moore was, an amazing guitar player. And again, he's the guy that doesn't get talked about a lot when you talk about great guitar players, but he should. He should, damn it, he really freaking should. Anyway, you say your videos are unscripted, Tom? Yes, they are. How could you tell? Yeah, you know what? Hell, I never know what I'm going to say. I always start in I always start with the intention of talking about the beer, but that's again I hate to keep repeating myself because I've said this over several videos, but yeah, that's why I don't call what I do a beer review because I'm about having a conversation. I like to think my videos are about having a pub conversation, and I pretend y'all are talking back to me. Just the voices in my head. I'm just imagining questions that you may ask me, but hey, there you go. Hey, wow, you've lost it, Tom. I know, man, but. Hell, if you've been through what I've been through, it's amazing that I've made it this far. And there you go. I've got nothing left to say. It's a solid beer. This was a great pack. Boulevard Pale Ale, the 80 Acre Hoppy Wheat are the two regular lineup beers that are in this mix pack. And the tasting room beers are the Rosemary IPA and the Milk Stout. All four beers are outstanding in my opinion. The Rosemary IPA and the Milk Stout, though, are something else altogether. Those two beers really should be in a six pack by themselves. They're both incredibly outstanding beers. I really believe they would sell if anybody from Boulevard is paying attention to me, if I haven't lost you by this point in the video, put those out in six packs. Those two are brilliant. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. We'll talk to you later. And